There is power in a story, and we all have a story. Our stories, if told, can inspire, encourage, and motivate. Hi, I am Rhonda, and welcome to the Book of Lives. Hi everyone, welcome to the Book of Lives. Today we're going to be chatting with a young man who has an incredible story to tell. CJ, welcome.
Hi,
Hi
good to be here.
CJ. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So CJ, you are from Trinidad.
Right here.
Yes, yes. And 12 years ago, you became extremely ill. So
Yeah.
take us back to the moment when you realized something was wrong. Tell us where you were, what were you doing? What was that like?
Well, last month make it 13 years. I'm like this, but going back to when it just started, I was a student in UAE Mona, a medical student. So I was in my dorm studying for my final exam in year two. When I realized I got this headache, I didn't pay no mind. I just took a tablet and started back studying. But weirdly enough, this headache came back 4 hours later.
Mhm.
So I decided to take a nap and sleep it off, only to wake up to something blowing all over my face and holding me down. No, I know I was alone in my dorm. So I knew this experience was demonic. So I prayed and it eventually left me. So when I woke up now, it's like every day after that experience, something of my faculty went, be it my speech, my sight, my ability to walk, even doing simple things for myself. So with the weeks leading up, remember, I was a medical student, so I had easy access to the hospital to do a lot of tests to see what was going on with me. All
Mhm.
these weird experiences happening to me. So I did a lot of tests. I
Mhm.
even visited private and public hospitals along with the campus hospital, and none was able to tell me what was going on with me. I even tested for classes, and all the lens they tested me with, it wasn't helping me.
Mhm.
So, well, this passed and no diagnosis. I did the CT scan, nothing, no diagnosis. And what was weird, even to this day, I can't explain how it made me feel, was when this speech thing started. I was talking normal, then I would song like this for one word, then go back to my normal voice.
Mhm.
That was really weird. So when that started, I began to wonder what medical condition could cause all this. And then until my speech was getting worse, that is what I noticed. Where instead of sounding like this for one word, I would song like this for several words, then go back to normal. So with all that happening to me, I decided to fly back home and see if I can get help. But at that point, remember I said my everything with me seemed to be getting worse by the day. So at that point, I couldn't walk at all. I was in a wheelchair. So when the doctor saw me in the wheelchair and they heard how I was sounding, they said, "No, we can't allow you to fly in this condition." They decided to keep me in the hospital. All I remembered is that night going to sleep with the clothes I wore in the hospital that day and waking up to an absolute nightmare. I woke up sounding fully like this. I was shaking. This tremor started. I saw myself in a full hospital garment. So I thought, well, this had to be a dream because last I remembered, I was in my clothes in the hospital. So I tried calling for help, then realized a weird, inarticulate song came out because my speech was worse at that point. You couldn't understand me. So I tried getting up to see if anything would move. And when I tried getting up off the hospital bed, I realized I couldn't move at all. And I saw my mom in the hospital in Jamaica. Last I remembered, I spoke to her on the phone, telling her I was in the hospital trying to get clearance to fly back home. So I wondered what was all this? This had to be a nightmare. Then, well, several hours passed, and then I realized this is not a nightmare. This is sadly a real life experience. And then my mom came and talked to me, and she told me that I was out for 4 days.
Ooh.
So when I thought I went in the hospital that night and slept only for one night, I was out for 4 days. So that's why when people ask me how I got like this, it felt like it was progressive as well as instantaneous because I fell asleep and also wake up like this.
So, CJ, to be clear, until today, no one can tell you exactly what's wrong.
No, 13 years after, no diagnosis, nobody could figure what's wrong. And when they kept me in the hospital in Jamaica initially, they ran a battery of tests. They tested me for a lot of things: Parkinson's, meningitis, lupus, even something called an aneurysm in the pulmonary artery, even a stroke, even HIV. Nothing. They can't find any diagnosis. All the tests came back absolutely normal. And then when I came back to Netherlands, they tested me again until my liver was deteriorating with all the drugs they were giving me because they were giving me a lot of medication for symptoms they thought I had with the shaking, Parkinson's, meningitis, and my liver, like it couldn't take
Take it
more.
anymore.
So a doctor told me they will have to stop the medication at once. So at this point, let me say for 7 years, I've been on no medication, nothing. So there's no diagnosis. Now I'm improving, getting better, and I'm on no medication.
So you have made significant progress though from 13
Yeah.
years ago to now. Where did you find the strength? How did you cope? What did you do?
It was very hard. What I did was I developed a strong mentality because I even tell myself I was always the kind of person, if you put me in a jungle naked, I will come out when I find for good. So I try to find the like how to make it out of this against all odds. I would not give up. So what I did, I took a spiritual approach. By no contrary means I told myself I would read the Bible, not only read the Bible but study it from cover to cover. I did that several times, and then reading it, I took out several healing scriptures which I incorporated in my prayers, and I stood on. My family, they prayed with me different days, but my mom, she prayed with me daily. And even my family, they are different fast with me, but my mom and I, we did a 6 to 6 fast every week. And I started to pray in tongues, and eventually I saw myself being able to improve against all odds. I didn't get no diagnosis, but I'm taking this spiritual approach and it's working for me. So then I told myself to look, if you look at a bodybuilder and a skinny man side by side, fact remains the skin man have every single muscle in his body as a bodybuilder. But the difference is the bodybuilder pays attention to this muscles, feed those muscles and exercise it. So that's what I did. I zeroed in on what I should do, on what I was getting results, and I felt that I exercised it, and so I improved.
Perfect, perfect. So you actually chronicled your experience in a book. Why write a book?
Well, going through this all the years, people kept telling me I'm so inspiring and motivating. And one thing with me, I always had a desire to write a book, but I didn't know about what. But this, when this happened, it gave me a story and a title. And with everyone telling me, my story and my mentality is so inspiring and motivating, I decided to chronicle my experience. And first was an app on my tablet. I didn't know how I would publish a book. But then late last year, that's when a local publisher came into my life. Again, with the spiritual approach I've been taking, a lot of things has been working for me. The publisher is by the name Mrs. Gillian Fabian. So we talked, and when I told her my story, she encouraged me to write a book. And so, well, I already had chronicled my experiences in an app. So I sent her a demo of the first chapter, and she was like, she's seen talent there, and she encouraged me to keep writing and write the book. And that is how it came about.
Good. I'm glad you wrote a book. I'm really glad you put this down on paper. Tell me, how has your perspective on life changed because of what you've gone through? How do you see life?
Oh, well, I have gotten this mentality that there's more to life than meets the eye. There's a physical world and there's a spiritual world. I was a medical student, so I was always, in medicine because of everything. I didn't really believe in the spiritual world, but with my experience and what has been working for me, I, I, how to put it, I would say I'm a believer because there are things you can't explain. I mean, medicine can only reach so far, but spiritually it could reach further, and that is where my relationship with Christ has gotten to for the front of everything. It takes precedence over everything, and man, not even me, can take credit for all that is happening in my life now. How am I improving?
I'm happy to hear that you are improving. So looking back, right? We're here now, 13 years later, looking back, right, at your journey. Given all that you have gone through, what would you say to someone who is going through something that seems insurmountable? What would you say to
I,
them?
I would say don't give up no matter how you feel. You know, have faith. That's the number one thing because faith is not seeing, it's believing. I mean, you may see yourself still sick or the sickness may still be there, but stand firm on your feet and develop a relationship with Christ above everything else. And know that despite what obstacle you may face, that there's always something in you that's greater than any obstacle you may face. Dig deep and find it.
I like that. Don't give up and stand on your faith. Great advice, CJ. Great advice. CJ, thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate this. You are truly a shining example of, the strength of the human spirit, a shining example of resolve and resilience. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Thank you. And for those of you who are watching, until next time, stay inspired.